tend to forget that women typically are emotionally wired or more emotionally wired.
Yeah.
And so what happens is when she comes to you and expresses a concern, if that concern does not line up in your head logically, men tend to dismiss it. Okay.
Facts.
And they don't consider how she's feeling.
Mhm.
And I want men to understand you have to learn that we have to accept men and women are different. We are just built differently, and in understanding our differences, we can create more harmony with each other. When that woman says to you, this is how I feel, it's
Before
not
we get
about your
started, I
logic
want
at
to
that
get to
point,
that
bro. It's
point right
about
there.
how she
Hold on a
feels.
second.
Men tend to forget that women typically are emotionally wired or more emotionally wired.
Yeah.
And so what happens is when she comes to you and expresses a concern, if that concern does not line up in your head logically,
Okay.
men tend to
So, what
dismiss
do you
it.
think about what he said?
Shit, I dismiss them all the time. If it's not logical, don't come to me. I'm sorry, bro. I am
Okay, all right.
I am
I
so
have to defend
sorry.
the woman now, right? We just shit on them
Listen,
like a couple
they
of
can
minutes
shit.
ago.
They can shit on me. Fuck that. I don't care. What I'm saying is, if it's not logical, don't bring it up. If it's
But
not,
we cannot
I
expect
don't
them
care.
to communicate the same way
I
as
do
us,
not
right?
care. I do not care. If it's not,
You
yo,
keep saying
listen,
you don't care.
listen, listen. If I said, okay, let's be honest. If I said, all right, baby, this guy that I see talking to you, I'm gonna kill him. Are you gonna agree with me as my girlfriend? Is it not logical enough that I'm gonna kill somebody? Killing is logical. That is, you're not supposed to be killing anyone. Shit. If it doesn't sound logical in my head as a man, I'm gonna dismiss the shit out of you. That's how it seems to me. Yo,
But I think sometimes we tend to it's the same way that when we talk about how the women communicate, right? They want us to communicate at the same level as them, right? So it's all about, like, what I'm feeling at the time. I feel. Let's just say, for example, okay, right? Um, I don't know if you ever with your girl, and your girl will come from work and say like, oh, babe, I had a bad day today, and then you're like, oh, what happened? Oh, this bitch Kanisha, she's been doing blah 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 blah, blah, right? So she complaining about her on Monday, right? Tuesday, same thing. By Wednesday, you're like, okay, all right. Um, we need to find a way for you to find another job, right? But that's you, because you're like, okay,
it
we need to
is
find a
so exactly. We need to get you out of that situation. We need to find we need to find a way
another
to
job.
get you out of that situation. Because the best way to find it, it's either she gets fired or you move on to another job. That's it.
Exactly. But that is the male brain speaking, right? That's the male brain speaking. Because if I'm bitching about my job, guess what? I'm leaving my job.
Yo, you don't understand. See that part that you just said? Imagine I'm in management, right? My job. A lot of times, your job as manage, like being part of management, is actually manage people. It's not even the work at that time. It's more about people when you get to that point of of management, right?
Hmm.
And then you hear these associates just be talking like, um, I can't do this, I can't do that. And I'm like, it pisses me off. I'm like, so why are you here? If it's
That's how I don't do management. That's how I don't do management.
yo,
Because,
yo, see how you were laughing? But that is so
because
true.
sometimes
Because
when they
it
put
is
me
so
in charge
true.
of people, it's like taking care of children sometimes. I'm
Yeah,
like, okay,
but it's not
why
even
are you
children.
here?
They are children. It's not children. They are actually children. I'm talking about a grown ass man and grown ass woman. You gotta treat them like they are kids. And I'm like, yo, why are you here? Like, what's your purpose of being here? Like, what is going on? Okay, you're complaining about this, you're complaining about that, but still, the next day you show up at 5 o'clock in the morning. So what's the point? Like, why are you doing this to yourself? It's not that hard to be like, you know what? Fuck it. I am not coming to
No,
this shit again. I'm
no.
out. That's it. But why are you making this so hard on yourself? And in my mind, the thing is, and I can't even say that to them because I'm part of management. I can't even have this conversation with them
You
because
can't be too
it's
honest.
like I can't. It's not even being honest. It's like um like it's bad for the business, and I'm trying. That's helping me paying my bills. You know what I'm saying? Like, if the business is not working well, I won't be able to pay my bills. But it's unfortunate the fact that when you're part of management, and then you have to deal with grown ass men and women, and then you have to treat them like kids, and it's just like the men and women part when you're in relationships, and it's just like yo certain things just be so like so simple in your head. Like you think about it, it's like, damn, this is so simple. Why is she making it so complicated?
I think again, it all goes back to the way that we communicate, right? And just like you say, sometime like like my girl complaining about something, I just listen, but I'm not really listening. I just like let her vent, and then she'll be like, "Oh, you listening?" I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah." But like, because the thing is though, it's not like there is no end goal to what we're talking about, right? If I tell her, I'm like, "Hey, babe, this is going at work, that going at work. This is what I'm doing to fix it." That's the way I communicate, right? But if she tell me something, she'll be telling me something about like, "Oh, uh, it was hot at work, yeah, and then I couldn't take my break on time, and then this bitch Kanisha was telling me what to do, and then I don't like her telling me what to do." I'm like, okay, what does that even matter? Like, but but we're different, and I think that sometimes we can be a bit too dismissive, and we should, as men, I think we should probably kind of work a little bit on that to
I
kind of
mean, I mean, that's the way the world is running anyway. I mean, we can't really change certain things. Um, Men are men, women are women. Ever since the world was the world, that's how it was always been. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the only thing we could do is, helping each other out, helping each other understand. I mean, especially if you find someone that can understand you more than not understanding you, you should be able to be like, all right, let me make the effort to actually try to understand that person as well. You know what I'm saying?
hmm hmm
Because at the end of the day, hey, life is life. Life is really short. Um, we go through experiences that, you know, it's unfortunate we have to go through, but at the end of the day, if you find someone you can actually collaborate with, you can actually understand, and the person can understand you even better. Um, you just gotta sacrifice certain things, man. That's just how it gotta be, man. You just gotta
I,
sacrifice a
I
certain
don't
thing.
like I don't like the word sacrifice. I prefer
You have,
compromise.
I don't know, man. Compromising means like I don't even like the word compromise because like compromising means like you hypocrite. You're being hypocrite if you're compromising. If you're
I don't know because
sacrificing, you know you're sacrificing. Like you know that shit gonna
but
hurt. You know that shit
but
gonna
com-
bad. But if you're compromising, you're like, um, let me do this. You being a hypocrite when you're compromising. I don't like that
but
word compromise.
I think you can compromise, but the thing is though, I think um people mistake compromise with tolerance, right? Muna pa dali tolere ou. That's different. Tako moun na di sa ke, oh, uh, internet tel fem tel bagay, oh, that's her, right? That's not compromising, right? You're not being true to yourself and to that person. I mean, when I mean I compromise, we come together and we decide, okay, this is what we're going to do. Let's just meet in the middle. That's what I mean when I mean compromise. We you say what you want to say, I say what I want to say, and when we find a way to make to come to a solution, right? But if you just tolerating the behavior, that's not compromising, because it's just gonna be resentment, and we're not gonna communicate,
And that's
and that's where like the hypocrisy is gonna come from.
that's what I'm saying. That word compromise means a lot of things that's not humanly true to us. It's not. We don't compromise as human. We don't do it. We might act like we do it, but we don't. We just be like, all right, we'll do this. But in the back of our mind, we'll be like, all right, let me see what's going to happen for real. You know what I'm saying? Let me see if I do
Uh,
this, what's gonna happen for real. Let me see this happens. And then next thing you know, certain people go off and you go off, and next thing you know, all compromising. It's more. I feel like when you know you sacrifice, it's just like a thing, right? It's just like, okay, you sacrifice something, you know you did it, and everybody knows you did it. You can't go back to it because it's a sacrifice. Like, okay, I'm doing this, I can't see this, or I can't do this because I have to get to this, or we have to get to this. But once you start compromising, I'm like, you compromising. Are you
but
really compromising, or are you
but
just
sa-
saying
but
it
sa-
just to say it?
but sacrificing is also bad, because like one, if you feel like one person is sacrificing everything and then the other is not, that can also be a
That's
problem.
bad. But I'm talking about both people
Okay, but that's
sacrificing.
compromise though. That's compromise. If both party come to understand and say, okay, I'm gonna sacrifice this, you sacrifice that,
Yes.
that's a compromise.
Well, he ended up being compromising. You're right. Okay.
But what you mean? I think I understand what you mean when in terms of compromise, where like I think some people, what I said before about tolerance, right? Monada could like, for example, like your girl is like disrespectful. Like your girl is bad with spending, or your man is bad with spending. Your man is disrespectful. Your man put their hands on you, and then you like, oh, I'm just compromise. That's not compromise. That's just tolerating. You know what I mean?
It makes sense.
All right,
Makes
all right.
makes makes perfect
Let's
sense.
finish. You know what I mean? So just like how people kind of um do it a little bit, but
Like you said,
I think we already exhausted like this subject. So let's move on to the last one, which I think again it's another good one right there. Okay, so
let's get it.